Hello everyone, welcome to Marlin Chess Kids. Today I'm going to show you the game played by Das and Choudhury, and this beautiful game complete in only 29 moves. And let's see how the game play. The game starts with the knight to f3, and here the black reply knight f6. Then the white continued to play g3, and the black play b6. Then bishop g2 was played, and here the white is slightly better in the third move, and here you have the anti-king Indian system. And the game continued with bishop to b7. Then d4 was played, and g6 from the black. Then the white go for a short crossing, and the black developed the bishop to g7. So this is a first 5 move, and the white position is slightly better in the board. And the game continue with the rook to develop to e1. After this, the black just go for a short castling, and now the white is trying to control the center with the c4 pawn. And you notice that this 2 pawn c4 and d4 can able to control the fifth rank, and is a very strong and much more activity for the white. Then the game continue with e6, and after this the develop the knight to c3, and then the black play knight to e4, trying to have some activity, while the white do not want to give the black knight in the center. Therefore the white capture the knight and go for the exchange. After this, bishop just capture, and now the bishop goes to g5, trying to have a simple attack of the queen. And then the black reply with f6, trying to chase the bishop away. And here you have the white is slightly better in this position after 10 move. Then the game continue with the bishop retreat to d2, and now the black develop another knight to c6. Then bishop to c3 was played, and still with the idea of pushing the pawn, and the bishop trying to attack the pawn at f6, and you might bring more pieces to continue the attack. So after this move, knight e7 was played, and here now the white developed the rook to c1, trying to attack the c file. After this, a6 was played, and now b3 push the pawn, and you can see this pawn formation is very strong structure. Another suggestion that the white can play will be knight to d2, forcing the bishop to exchange, and if the bishop move away to the wrong position, then the white can continue to play e4 and attack the free bishop. It's completely free with the one pawn attack the bishop. So for example, if you don't play e4, then the bishop is going to be captured. So if you move here, then the queen will just capture it free. And if you capture with the bishop, we capture the rook, then the queen will just continue to attack. And here you have a strong trade, like if you move the pawn to a3, then the bishop will plan to come here for the checkmate. And if you make another mistake, then the queen will just come to g2 and you have a simple checkmate. So after this move, b3 was played, and here the black just moved a b5, trying to destroy the structure of the pawn. After this, bishop to b4 was played, trying to attack the knight and also pinning it. So this knight cannot be moved, and if you move, you are able to capture the rook. So rook e8 was played, and after this is a 15 move position, and you can see white is still slightly better in the game. Then the game continued with bishop capture the knight and the queen capture, and now the knight to d2 trying to attack the bishop, and this forced the bishop to capture and the king to capture again. After this, d6 was played, and here the white trying to control and create a pawn formation structure, and here you can see that this is a very solid structure of the pawn. So it is protecting each other, and white is still better. After this, the black play c5, trying to destroy the center pawn, and now the d takes the c5 and the d takes c5, and you open up the d file for the white. So this is the first 20 move, and still the white is still having an edge in the board. So queen f3 was played, trying to attack the rook, also attack the pawn, and b4 was played from the black, trying to push and prevent the white to push the a pawn. Then rook e to d1, trying to gain control of the d file, and after this c7 was played, and at this position it's very hard to attack for the white. Therefore the white trying to use the knight to push towards the e4 and try to get more activity, such as to attack the pawn, and also you can have more activity in the golden square. So after this the black push the pawn f5, and after this the knight go to g5, and this knight is a very strong threat, and this knight able to capture the pawn, and if you rook capture, then the queen will just capture it back the rook and will be winning. So the best move at this position to maintain the equal will be rook a to c8, and if you play wrong, such as h6 to attack the knight, then the knight will just capture the pawn, and if you capture with the rook takes the e6 knight, and the queen will just capture back the rook and check the king. So after this position, you can see that the white have two rooks while the black have one rook and the bishop, and here the white is clearly winning a piece ahead. So back to this position, after this move, queen b6 was played, and the queen want to protect the pawn and move the white continue to storm and attack the rank 7, attack this bishop. So rook to d7 was played, and this is a very strong threat, and this rook can attack the bishop and also can goes to b7 and attack the queen. So once the rook in the rank 7 you can go to b7 and bring another rook, and you have two rook in the rank 7, and you have a very simple checkmate at rank 7. And also threaten to win with a rook c to d1, we double up the rook. So after this move, rook a to d8 was played. And back to this version, the necessary idea to go and maintain equal will be rook a7. So if the rook capture, then the queen capture, and this will save for the black. So in the actual game, rook a to d8 was played, and after this move, the white is winning the game. And here the white continue to attack by playing rook and attack the queen, and the queen now is trapped in this position. So if you press the queen, you can notice the only way to save the queen would be playing queen to d6. And if you play queen to d6, and now you have the knight to f7 and fought the queen and rook, and the white is winning a piece again. So knight to f7, and this queen or the rook will going to be captured, and the best move to play in this version is continue to attack, such as bring the queen to d3 or d2 position. And if you bring to d3, then the knight will just capture the rook and the rook capture, and at this position again you can see the differences would be a rook and a bishop, and the white is winning. So back to this position, after the attack, the queen has a limited place. The queen cannot capture the rook, and if you capture the rook, then the queen will just capture it back, and at this position the white will be winning with the extra queen. So now in the actual game, queen a5 was played, and after this move, the black is winning and able to mate in it. I'll give a couple of seconds to figure out how the continuation of the white to play and win, or if you can find the best move from the white. Well, congratulations for those who found the answer, and for those who like to know the best move for the white to play in this position is the brilliant sacrifice of the rook takes g7 and check the king. So this is one of the very beautiful sacrifice. After the rook capture the bishop and check the king, and if you do not capture the rook, you play such as king to f8, and the queen will just come to b7, and there's nothing much you can defend the checkmate at f7 and checkmate the king. So if you move queen to b7, then the queen can just block to delay the checkmate, and it will be captured. And after rook defense, then you just capture, and now you have nothing much you can do. If you just use the rook to defense, then the queen will just capture, and it will be a checkmate. So in the actual game, the black just capture the rook, and after this the queen goes to b7 and check the king, and again the black will be in trouble. And now if you go the king to f8, then you have a simple queen f7 checkmate. As well as you go to g8, then the queen will just capture the pawn and check, and back to f8, then the queen will goes to f7 checkmate. And back to this position, if the king goes to h8, then the queen will just capture and it will be a checkmate. And now if the king move up to f6, then you can have a brilliant sacrifice, such as the queen takes the pawn, give up another knight, and now the king captures the knight. You have the queen checkmate at h4, and this is a very beautiful dovetail mate. So after this check, if you move the king to f6, and this f6 was the actual play from the game, and after this the knight capture the pawn at h7, and the black design the game. And you want to continue the game, now you can see the black has only one move to move, which is king to e5, and after this you have the f4 pawn attack and check the king. And now you can see that most of the space is being controlled, and this will give only one square for the king to move is d6, and after this you just can use the rook to d1 and checkmate the king, and the king at a5 cannot do much to prevent the check or anything. So back to this version, after this queen check, nothing much you can do. You also can use the queen to delay the checkmate only. So queen will just capture, rook defense, queen capture, rook defense, queen just capture, and after king go up, then queen just capture again, a brilliant sacrifice, and here king just capture, you have the queen to h4 checkmate with the dovetail mate again. And with this, thank you.